Hey everybody, hello, my name is Kelsey. This is my YouTube channel where I discuss a lot of things. Particularly, I like to talk about knitting, crochet, and other craft related activities. Today is a haul video. Do I feel super fantastic about this because my video before the last one was also a haul video? No, but rest assured there were like 4 months in between that and not a lot of yarn purchased in that interim. So we're fine. We're fine. It's fine. Anyway, so I recently participated in the Utah Yarn Crawl, which is a group community activity in which a lot of the Utah yarn stores participate, and you visit each one to get a stamp on your passport, and then once you have visited all of them, you can turn in your passport to one of the participating shops and be entered in to win a prize. Additionally, throughout the week there's other stuff, other like sales going on. Not a lot, but you know, I love shopping and I love an excuse to shop. So that's how we ended up in this situation. I went on 2 days. I went on the 12th when the entire event started, and then I went the following weekend. So I don't think I'll be going through chronological order just because it's been like 3 weeks since I started the yarn crawl, and I'm sure there's like stuff missing from this, but this is what I remembered to grab. So here we are. All right. So the first place we stopped on the yarn crawl on the first day was Pettifours and Pearls, which is a yarn shop in Lehi, Utah. There I got, obviously I got the tote bag that is included, or that you can get if you go to a shop early enough. I believe most shops ran out by like noon on the first day, so that was fun. And then I also picked up, they were doing a trunk show for Yarn Cafe Creations, so I picked up some of the self-striping yarn available from that particular dyer. It's this nice pink, orange, green colorway. And there is definitely a theme in the colors that have been speaking to me recently. Last year, I made a concerted effort to make things that were not pink, to the point where I kind of sat down and realized I didn't make any of the pink things I wanted because I wanted to diversify. So now we have fully committed back into Barbie land. So you're gonna notice this will not be the last pink object you see throughout this video. So that was the first stop. Throughout all the stops, I also, for those that had it, I picked up the like special stitch marker for the yarn crawl. I have 5. One of them came in the mail, so I don't know where it is. And I can't really like bother to go find it. I wasn't able to get one from all 10. They ran out very quickly. So here's the 4 I have from the first 4 shops we went to. And I don't even remember which shops they came from. That's the sort of blind panic shopping that we went through. The next stop we went to is one of my favorite just plain stores. It's not even really just a yarn store. It's just like it's just a cool shop altogether. We went down to Provo and we stopped at Harmony, and there I got some Noro because they were doing like a 15% off sale, and Jesus Christ, and I have been on the lookout for an Aran weight yarn in a acceptable quantity to make the My Josie hood. And that hood is made out of Aran weight yarn, which is expensive to buy the quantity needed for that yarn. So this, while not not cheap, especially for what is an accessory, this is something I've been wanting to try, and again, it's one of the colors. It is a magenta pink, and there's also some like red and green tonals, or not tonals. I just be saying shit. Red and green mixed in with that. So I think it's very much my vibe. And that's that. So we stopped for lunch there. Then we shot straight through Salt Lake to the other side of the state, and we went to Bountiful, Utah, where we stopped at Seed Stitch. Now, the trick is for this entire yarn crawl experience that I was like, I will not be buying a sweater's quantity of yarn. I don't need another sweater quantity. There's not enough time in the world for me to make another sweater. And I successfully did that. However, the rule I did not set up for myself is that I was allowed to convince myself that I wanted a shawl quantity, which it's fun. So I ended up getting yarn to make the pressed flowers shawl. I've always wanted to try Spin Cycle, but there's just never a pattern, I feel like, for it. So I got this Spin Cycle Dream State yarn. This is the colorway Nostalgia. It's this very nice raspberry pinkish purple. And then to go with it, to make the shawl, I got Santa's Garn Pure Gint. This one is the colorway Jazzy Pink. So I'll put this together. This will be the contrast color, and this will be the main color. And I will make the pressed flower shawl at some point. I'm currently participating in the Charm City Pink Along, and I am working on socks for that right now, but the delusion in me is saying that once I finish the 2 pairs of socks I'm making, then I will also make the pressed flower shawl for the Pink Along. So wish me luck on that. The next place we went was the Needlepoint Joint. I didn't pick up much there. I just picked up these Cocoa Knits colorful stitch stoppers because in like this set they have stitch like stoppers that are good for 9-inch circular needle sets, and I am always losing stitches on my socks when I set them down, so these are good for that. Then the final store we went to on that Saturday was Handwork. There they had like a special bag that was a collab between a local bag maker and obviously the yarn shop. So this is the bag I picked up. I originally had a blue bag that I was intending on buying, and then like right about as I was going to check out, she started like putting other bags up on the shelf, and I was like, no, I want the pink one. Give me the pink and tan one. And as I was checking out, Paul, who works there, was like, it matches your purse. And I'm like, Paul, the thing about me you'll find is that most of my things match each other because I love pink and I love orange-ish tan brown colors with a pink. So there's that. And then I also knew going in that they were going to have yarn bowls at the yarn crawl, and during Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair they had like a bunch of yarn bowls for a pretty decent price, but I didn't buy one because 1, I wasn't sure if I would need it, and 2, it wasn't in a color that particularly went with anything I have in my life. It was like blue. So I went in knowing I would want to buy a yarn bowl because I needed it, because I needed to split yarn balls in half for socks because I knit socks in tandem. Neither here nor there. So I picked up this yarn ball, and it's very cute, and it definitely, I'm glad I waited because it definitely matches my color scheme a lot better than a big blue bowl would. That is what we got on week 1. Week 2, I had a weakness, and that weakness specifically was pattern books. So the first store we went to on week 2 was Willow Hill Yarn Company. had wanted to get the book, the Charlotte Stone like colorwork sock books while we were in Seed Stitch, but I ended up buying the yarn for the shawl instead. Then we hit week 2, and I very much was like regretting not buying the book because there's a specific pair of socks in the book that I really enjoy, and I was sad I didn't pick up the socks pick up the book when I had the opportunity. But when we went to Willow Hill Yarn Company, they had both of the Charlotte Stone books available, so I got Charming Colorwork socks and Joyful Color Knit socks. And in particular, the sock, it's not a big picture. In particular, the sock I really enjoy from this book is the chicken one. If I can find it in any place. Chicken sock, where are you? This sock. I love the way she did like the yoke on the toe. I just think that's so cute. So I got this book. I've been working on DK socks, and I really have enjoyed making the DK socks. So I bought this yarn thinking it was a DK sock yarn. It's not, it's a normal sock yarn, but it's still pink, so I still like it. And it is, and it was on sale. So it's Yarnaceous Fibers. It's the Salta finger ring base. It's 85% merino, 15% nylon. And this is in the colorway Peaches. I also got a tape measure in the shape of a snail, but it is on my keys, so I'm not going to grab that. Then we went to Yarn on the Corner. So at Yarn on the Corner, so my grandpa recently passed away, and I felt really bad for my dad because he was he sounded so sad on the phone, like when he went out there. So I had some yarn that I was just making granny squares out of, and I decided to make those granny squares into a blanket, which meant I needed more yarn. So while we were at Yarn on the Corner, I picked up some Malabrigo Rios. This is in the color Dunis, and denim blue jean. It is in the color blue jean, so I will make squares out of 4 of these and join it with my extra blue. It's a very pretty, and I think it really is like an impeccable match for the yarn I'm making the squares out of. I can't show you the squares because again they're put away, but there will be a video on whips coming up here soon, so I will talk about it more in that video. Then not finally, because there's still one more store that we went to after that point. So we went to Knitting Hive, and I got more sock patterns. Apparently I love a sock pattern book. There is no world in which I'm capable of making every sock that is in one of my sock pattern books. And theoretically, I should never have to buy a sock pattern again in my life, but I know myself and I know I will buy more sock patterns. But I really just like them, and I like looking through them, and in particular, I chose this book, which is 52 Weeks of Socks Volume 2. I chose this one instead of the other, like the Volume 1, because there was one sock in here that I thought would be really fun to make. Yep, it's this one. How do I show this to you without exposing? So it is the, like, I don't think you can see it, but it is the Colorwork socks that just has the word knitter on it, and it has charts for both the word knitter but then also other letters, so you can add, like, you can make your own word. So that in particular was one I was really excited about. I've actually already made a sock from this book, which I bought the pattern individually, so that's nice. And that's the Flu socks. But there's a lot of socks in here I'd be interested in making at some point. But yeah. And then also at Knitting Hive, I picked up a kit that every time I've been in there, I've kind of like eyed and pick up because I just thought it was cute, and then I put it down. But I decided to get it this time because I like knitting on DPNs, and I like knitting on chunky yarn, in that I thought this would be like a fun bridge between the two. So I got this kit for these mittens, and the yarn is Ikigai Fiber. Probably didn't say that correct, but it's a superwash alpaca blend. I don't really want to take all of the yarn out of the bag, but yeah, I think you get the idea. So I want to make these mittens. And then finally we went to Wasatch and Wool, which is a yarn shop in Park City that may be closing. I don't know. There may be a buyer interested. I've heard different things from different people, but they had a lot of things on sale, and I bought none of the things that were on sale. Instead, I actually ordered this online during the week because I was worried that they would be out of stock, because all of the other shops that had it in stock had it shown as sold out. And that is Softly Timeless Knits by Sari Nordlund. This is her other pattern book. There is a DK sock pattern in this book that I really wanted to make, and then there's also a hat I really want to make for my mom, and then also I don't remember what the cardigan's name is, but it's very pretty. It is the one that is this one. It's the Urania. It's the Urania cardigan because it's very plain, but it has like a cable along the sides of the button band, and I think it would be fun to make. So I got this. Now, that's all I got on Yarn Crawl, but also around Yarn Crawl, some orders came in. The first thing I ended up getting is this yarn from the Knitted Wit, because if you haven't heard, they are closing down their shop, Craft Emporium, and they will no longer be dyeing yarn. So there was a sale, and I ended up buying this sock yarn. It is in the colorway Lesbian Pride, so I thought this would be a fun yarn next May to make a pair of socks for June to wear to Pride. So I got that on sale. And then there is a pair of socks that I have been wanting to make, and I really like the colorway they have on on the sample, but unfortunately it's not sold by the dyer anymore, and the dyer is out of the UK anyway, so it could just be a massive pain to order. So I thought that this yarn would be a good match for it, but it's not. But it's still pretty, but it's not the right color. It's not the colorway I wanted, and that is the Red Pansy colorway, and Red Pansy Superwash Merino sock, 75% superwash, 25% nylon, and this is the colorway Most Ardently. It's still pretty. It's not for the socks I wanted, and I do like. You don't even know what I'm talking about because I don't remember the name of the socks, and I also don't know how much energy I'm gonna have while editing this to show you the socks I want to make, but rest assured it's not a good match. I'm thinking I might order some yarn from La Bien Aimée that I think might be, if not a better match, will at least contrast better with the color that I would pair for the sock. Anyway, so finally, wrapping up my shame, I placed an order with Lovejoy Fibers, which is a local dyer here in Salt Lake City, because they were having like a 50% off sale. And when a hand dyer is having a 50% off sale, of course you're going to place it. So I ended up getting a really boring order of yarn, which is their DK Weight Superwash Merino with 25% nylon in the colorway Oat. And I would not normally buy white from a hand dyer, but again, it was 50% off, and I intend on making my mom that one Laura Penrose pattern where the pillow is like a quilt block. So I needed white DK yarn, and if I had the opportunity, like this will, like, to pair it, like, I have the yarn I'm gonna use for the color, so this will be the main color. So and I also ordered sock yarn, but there was a mix up, and what I ordered she didn't actually have, so she refunded me, and I wasn't like too upset about it, because it's like I didn't actually like need the yarn. But it was really cool of her, because she also included this set of minis, which I just thought was so nice of her, because these are so cute and definitely didn't need to do it. So I would 100% recommend buying from Lovejoy Fibers. I've ordered from them before, and I've made socks using their yarn, and I really enjoy the socks I made. So yeah. But that's gonna be it for what I purchased during the yarn crawl. Did you guys have you had a yarn crawl in your local area? Did you participate? Let me know. If you have any sort of comments, good news for you, there is a box for you to write them in. And you can also like this video if you did like it. If you didn't like it, that's on you. And if you want to see more videos in the future, please subscribe. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great period of time in between when I post next, and I will endeavor to see you all again. All right, bye-bye.